You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Okay lang ba kahit malayo ang trabaho mo sa tinapos mong course sa college? I'm Sage Tentengco Malolos at kahit film major ako sa college, nakapagtrabaho na ako sa advertising, naging courtside reporter, entrepreneur at iba pa. Kaya in over 10 years of working, I've learned that maraming pasikot-sikot ang careers natin. At mahirap kung ikakahon mo sarili mo base sa desisyong ginawa mo nung teenager ka pa. Ang mas mahalaga, magkaroon ka ng transferable skills. At yan ang pag-uusapan natin today. 5 minutes lang. Kasama natin, the CEO of Puma Podcast and fellow multi-hyphenate, Carl Javier. Hi, Carl!
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah! So for those of you who don't know, Carl and I have known each other for over 15 years. And Carl was the one who got me into writing. He got me into joining essay contest. He was low-key my idol in creative writing when I was a teenager. But somehow, we are now in business. When I look at your career, Carl, I see it as you're kind of like a chameleon. You've done everything from teaching to writing to publishing, owning a bar, now entrepreneurship, you're a CEO.
None of it planned. My course was political science, which I failed out of. I couldn't pass the math requirements, so I shifted to creative writing in my second year.
Okay, so creative writing to where you are now.
No.
It's not your course?
No.
How important is your course 10, 15 years into a career?
It's incredibly important and totally meaningless at the same time. It's the same as your grades. And for the most part, it's the same as Latin honors, not to discourage people from aspiring towards Latin honors. One of the silly things I'm proud of is I had awful grades and I didn't have Latin honors, and then a bunch of my staff has Latin honors.
I agree with you about Latin honors. Like, they're great to put on your job application if you're a fresh grad. Pero 10 years after you graduate, parang di na impactful yung may Latin honors ka sa resume mo eh. Parang mas mahalaga yung transferable skills mo. Ano yung transferable skills that really helped you along your career?
One way to think about this is, why do we go to school? Because I have had the privilege of going to university and all that. I will always have a preference for a university education. But I understand that it is privilege. It's easy to say, I'm going to school to get a job. But in all honesty, you don't need to go to university to do that. TESDA has all of these programs, and the transferable skills of the university education is, sa totoo lang, it's the humanities. It's the thing that we take for granted. It's the thing na makakita ka ng mga posts sa mga boards ng mga estudyante na, I don't know, like if you went to Ateneo, diba? But kung kailangan ng units of theology, if you go to UP, it's the, why do I need these philosophy classes? And why do I need science, technology, and society? It's because you can have all of the technical skill in the world, but it's your ability to perceive, have logic, interact with people. Those things matter much more in your later career. In your early career, it's all about those hard skills that you learned in school or the ones that you will learn at work. Important point for us, our entire industry did not exist 20 years ago. There could be no child going, alam mo, gusto ko maging podcaster. But now there are kids who have these aspirations, but you don't know what the jobs are going to be in 20 years. And that's what transferable skills are all about. You don't necessarily know what the job is going to be, but your ability for problem solving, people management, time management, ability to read and analyze, ability to learn quickly, growth mindset, yung mga bagay na yun yung mga transferable skills na almost regardless of what the job asks, you will be able to do.
What for you is a growth mindset? What does that mean?
Knowing that just because you don't have the skill right now doesn't mean that you can't grow into that skill. It's knowing that whatever limitations you currently have, that is not the max capacity for your abilities. The fact that I have, despite failing math multiple times as an undergraduate, I now look at balance sheets and I get presented with projections and I have some capacity to understand it, never think that a subject you're taking is irrelevant. When you walk into school, you think, why do I have to take this subject? And then you sort of don't give the appropriate effort. And it's the same thing with work. Like, if you wind up doing an internship at something, why not embrace that? It's the problem of sometimes people think that certain work is beneath them. Or, you go into your first job and you're like, oh, I have a degree in blah, blah, blah. I should be doing this important stuff. No. The mindset, whether student or early in your career, is whatever gets thrown my way, there's something to be learned.
Ako si Siege Tantenko Malolos, Puma Podcast. Thanks for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, you'll see a question on your app. What surprised you about your career and what helped you adapt? Share your answer in the comments. Maybe someone will be inspired by your journey too. Kung nagustuhan nyo ang episode na to, share nyo naman sa friends nyo. Tag nyo rin kami at Puma_podcast on Instagram and at Puma Podcast PH. Ako naman, I'm on social media at Siege the Day. Do give us a rating on your podcast app because it really helps get the word out about our work. This episode was produced by Macy Oven and edited by Joe Salcedo. Abangan ang susunod naming episode tungkol sa solo travel. 5 minutes lang. See you next time!